for this next example, we have 9x plus 4 is less than 12x minus 11. So I want to go ahead and solve this inequality. There are a couple of different ways that you could go about going through this. I could subtract 9x from both sides so that I avoid a negative so I don't have to flip my inequality. Or since we do want to read it as x is less than or greater than some number, you could move the 12x. So I'm going to go ahead and move the 12x, but just know that there are multiple ways that you can do this. So subtracting 12x from both sides. I get negative 3x plus 4 is less than negative 11. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So I have negative 3x is less than negative 15. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. So here, again, I'm dividing by a negative, so I need to flip the inequality. And so now I get that x is greater than 5. And if I were to write that interval notation, that would be 5 to infinity. I'm not including the 5, so that would be a parentheses. And then when I go ahead and graph that, I have a strictly greater than, so that's an open circle, and I want everything bigger, so I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. Okay, this next one, I have some parentheses going on the right-hand side. So just like if we were solving a normal equation, I'm going to go ahead and distribute that 5 first. So I have 5 times 2b to get 10b, and then 5 times 3 to get 15. Now this time, just so I can show a different way than we did for number 4, I'm going to go ahead and move the 8b to the other side so we avoid negatives. So I'm going to subtract 8b from both sides. And I get negative 11 is greater than 2b plus 15. Next, I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. And I get negative 26 is greater than 2b. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Here, it's important to remember, since I'm dividing by a positive, I do not have to flip this inequality. It doesn't matter that this 26 is negative. It only matters whether what you're dividing or multiplying is negative. And so this will still remain negative 13 is greater than b. Now, here you have a couple of choices. You could just leave your answer like this. However, I find it easier when I'm going to graph if I go ahead and have b be on the left-hand side. And so to do that, I'm going to switch the b and negative 13 around. So I have b over here, negative 13 over there. However, I have to also flip my inequality so that the pointy end is still pointing to the b. And so instead of greater, this is going to be less than. And so graphing that, I have b is strictly less than negative 13, so it's going to be an open circle pointing to everything less than. Okay, let's do one more problem. So here, just a little bit more complicated. I need to first go ahead and distribute my 3 into my parentheses. So I have 3 times x, and I get 3x. 3 times negative 2, and I get negative 6. Minus 4x is greater than negative 2x minus 6. Next, I'm going to go ahead and combine my x's on the left-hand side. So 3x minus 4x, I get negative x minus 6 is greater than negative 2x minus 6. I want all my x's to be on one side, so I'm going to go ahead and add 2x to both sides. So I get x minus 6 is greater than negative 6. And then I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So I get that x is greater than 0. And so when I graph that, I was strictly greater than, so I want open circle, and I want everything greater.